Hi, welcome to my photocard collection tour. I think it's time that I finally do this instead of just telling my friends I'm going to do it and terrorizing them with pictures of my possibly slightly larger than the average person's stack of fillers for collections that I want to start but won't start until I film a video for this channel. So yeah, if I can't edit in a picture of the fillers because I've never edited a video before, so I don't know if I'll be able to do that. You just have to take my word for it that it's not an entirely crazy amount. I'm going to be starting with my A5 binders. I have 2 of those, and then we'll go through all of my bigger binders. So to start with, I have my mond collection. They are a girl group who I have been following since earlier this year when they released their mini album Under My, which everyone should go listen to. I highly recommend the B-side Unusual. It's very, very good. But I collect kind of OT4, kind of just pulls for these girls. So I've got a couple of OT4 pre-order sets at the front here. And then this is kind of the only binder I have set up like this, but just for the moment, at least I have everything set up into member sections. So my ESOL pulls, and then we get into a couple of pre-order benefits as well. And then Miku, who is my bias in the group, album pulls, a couple more album pulls, and some pre-order benefits. And then Dayeon. I only have these 4 for her, plus a couple of pre-order benefits, but I'll get more, it's okay. And then Youngwon, who unfortunately has left the group recently, but I'm very glad for the time that I got to know the group that she was still in there. Just my Youngwon pulls. And a pre-order benefit for her. And that is the mond collection. And my second collection that's in an A5 binder is my xikers collection. I collect my top 4 for xikers, which you can probably see on the front cover is Dayeon, who's one of my alt biases in K-pop as well. And then the rest of my bias line, Minjae, Sumin, and Yujun. Xikers is one of my favourite groups, definitely among my favourite 5th gen groups, and you wouldn't be able to tell that from this binder because I have very, very little progress, but I do have a few cards. So doorbell ringing era. The thing is, I kind of don't like this binder. It's very full. I don't love it because I got the wrong size pages, so I had to hole punch them all, and yeah, I don't want to start a new one, so I don't know. That's why it's kind of empty. But we've got the photo cards from the ot9 PLV set and Sayan's selfie card for the PLV set. And then for the second album, How to Play, I just have the sets that came from the album. And again, just a couple of Sayan pulls. I've been thinking I'd love to move them into an A4 binder. Trial and Error, which is my favourite album from them. But yeah, I'd love to move them into an A4 binder and pick up a 5th member, but I can't decide if it would be Yechan or Hyunwoo, so I haven't made any changes yet. This Minjae I actually got as a freebie in a package from my Kaedi, which was really cool. It's so cool to get freebies that are actually cards you need. Like, that was a high I'll never hit again. And then Watch Out, I have a bit more progress for Watch Out. I just bought a few more albums this era. I love this page. I know this is my favourite page of my binder, which isn't just because it's the only finished page, which would also be a good enough reason, but I just love all of these cards. When I was deciding the layout for this era, I knew that these would be my favourite cards, be my favourite page, I mean. And then the X version for Watch Out, and the Tricky version. And unfortunately I haven't got anything for the PLV versions, and I haven't even set up for Spur, which I know came out like half a year ago at this point, but yeah, I don't know, they wouldn't fit in this binder. I didn't want to start a new one. I'm again a bit stuck, but anyway, I just have some pre-order benefits back here for Sayan as well. These ones are all from their first album. Got one from How to Play, and then the rest are all Trial and Error photo cards. And this one, he's on a page by himself, but he's actually my favourite because I loved this hairstyle with the blue streaks. it was my favorite ever. And then I've got a couple of ot9 cards here and the rest of the PLV set. And that is everything for my A4 binder. Whoa, no, that is everything for my A5 binders. But I'll stick with the boy groups because there's only 2 other boy groups I collect, so we'll get through those next. So the first A4 binder is actually a bit of an overflow binder. There's a few collections in here, just because I don't have space for them elsewhere at the moment. But one of the collections in here is my TXT Kuninkai collection. I picked him up Freeze and Escape era, and I've collected pretty thoroughly until Freefall, which is when I began boycotting Hybe. So this is a semi-complete collection for what it is at the moment. Got the ID cards from the earlier albums here, and then Blue Hour, Freeze, Fighter Escape here, and Good Boy Gone Bad. And then the most gorgeous cards of all time, I've got the Temptation cards. This one is one of my favorite cards ever. I loved this concept so much. I think putting someone in a white shirt that's wet is always going to work. It's very Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy-esque to me. Pride and Prejudice 1996 miniseries, always on my mind. So I love this card. And then get into Freefall. I'm missing the Weverse cards for these. These were a bit harder to find, but I'm done with all of the other Freefall cards. And that is everything for my Kuninkai collection. So we'll get into my last boy group collection, which is my BTS collection. I collect my top 3 for BTS. They're one of my alt groups with Twice, and Namjoon is one of my alt biases. So I collect him, I collect Taehyung, and I collect Jungkook. I'm pretty close to finishing what I want for Namjoon and Tae at the moment, but you know, ignore the last column. I've got a lot of work to do there. But anyway, we've got the first few albums here. Well, not the first few albums, but the first few albums with photocard-sized photocards. I do actually have a lot of the bigger ones as well, but I don't have the pages to hold them, so they're not in this binder. And then get into Love Yourself Her. This Namjoon is actually the first time I ever pulled his photocard, but also the first time I ever pulled a photocard of my bias. And I remember getting this and I was so excited. This was back in the day when I still bought all of my albums at JB Hi-Fi, because I didn't know you could get them elsewhere for much better prices. I pulled that Namjoon and I ran 2 laps around my house squealing. It was a very exciting moment, can't be overstated. But yeah, and we've got the last Her set here. This Namjoon is one of the first photocards I ever bought outside of pulling it in an album, because I bought some albums before I started collecting photocards, and I loved this one so much. I tracked him down on eBay, which don't buy on eBay, guys. You can get them for much better prices pretty much anywhere else. But I tracked him down on eBay and I bought him, and he's beautiful. And then we get into the tier sets. This is one of my favorite concepts BTS has ever done. And the rest of tier, and then answer, which I'm pretty close to finishing. And then Map of the Soul Persona. BTS World. There's a couple of things that I just want to collect Namjoon for. Those are cards that I think will be harder to get, or just concepts I don't like as much, things like that. And then Map of the Soul 7. These are some of my favourite photocards. These 2 and version 1 Namjoon here. 3 of my favourites of him. I have definitely considered getting a 9-pocket page just of those cards. I love them so much. He looks so cute in them, and he's got, his eyes, his gorgeous bow eyes. These are perfect looks. And then B, another one I love. I love all 3 of these, obviously, but this one I pulled, and I pulled very little Namjoon. I think in all my BTS albums I only pulled him 3 or 4 times, so that it's special when I do pull him. And then just some setups for some non-album cards, and then my Butter collection. I think the Butter cards are also gorgeous. These are really fun concepts, and the cards are all very pretty. The Lucky Draw page, Japanese Fan Club, And I loved these concepts so much that I also collected all of Hobie's. I think these are some of the greatest photo cards of all time. These are gorgeous. He's easily, in my opinion, the best selfie taker in BTS, so he has some of the best photo cards as well. And his butter set in particular I think is gorgeous, so when I saw it being sold all together, I obviously had to buy it. And then proof. And then we get into, oh actually, I was going to say then we get into the solo stuff, but I have some ot9 stuff first. So we've got the Her vinyl, the Tier vinyl, the B sets, and proof sets. This set is so gorgeous and fun and colourful, and this is the best photo card of all time. I love it. Everyone should have a closer look at it. Yeah, this is gorgeous. Everyone should be taking notes. Every idol needs a lesson from Hobie. Yeah. And then just the In the Sum set, and then I get into solo stuff. So for their solos, I've collected album cards and all Weverse pre-order benefits and early bird, like the initial pre-order benefits and early birds from Weverse. So I've got Jack in the Box, the Astronaut, Indigo. For Indigo, I collected the album fully because I'm into my alt bias. So we've got the Weverse pre-order benefit and the Weverse US pre-order benefit, I think, which a card I thought I would never find, but I bought it pretty much in a set of everything. The album cards here. This one's the merch card. I think it came with a bag. I'm not entirely sure. It does have a selfie in it. It does have a picture. I eventually will have it set up like this, but I haven't got a sleeve for it at the moment, so he's just hidden for now. We'll free him one day, but not today. But yeah, this is set up as a black and white page, and then a more colourful page. I've got the Weverse cards, the vinyl card, and the Japanese pre-order benefits. These were such a struggle to get my hands on. I didn't know that I should have bought them really close to when the album came out, and it actually took me like a year to find them afterwards. They're gorgeous, gorgeous cards. They're both like some of my favorites of his cards ever, but oh my gosh, they were so difficult to find. I think they might be some of the most expensive cards in my collection, and I never want to go searching for cards like that again. And then my lucky draw page, face. I'm missing a few for face. And D-Day I'm also missing a few cards for, but I have all of the standard album cards complete. And Jack in the Box Hope Edition, again with Hobie having just the best photo cards of all time. These are all gorgeous. They're so cute. I love this one. And this one. Okay, I love them all, but this one especially. And then Layover. This is the Weverse album set. The standard album cards that had 3 photo cards in the outfit, and the ones that only had 2 or 1 photo card in the outfit are on this page here. And then I have a couple more pre-order benefits here. They've got the Weverse ones at the top and bottom, and then a Weverse lucky draw set as well. And then the last thing in this binder is my golden collection. I've got all the album cards, including the European exclusive, because this was my favourite of the album cards, so I had to get my hands on it, and I did eventually. I'm collecting a bit more for golden because Jungkook is my bias wrecker, but I've got all of the MTU and Soundwave first round lucky draws, and then the second round lucky draws for Power Station, Soundwave and MTU all here. Love this page. This page is so cute. I really wanted to have this card in the middle. I love cards where they're in front of pictures of themselves. I really wanted to have it in the middle of the page, but these are the only 2 cards where he's not doing these are the only 2 cards where he's not doing a peace sign, so they had to be in the corners. So this one had to go in the same row as it. Anyway, that's that. Sorry. And then a couple of lucky draws. I think these ones were the golden on stage cards, and I can't remember what these ones were for, but they were another Weverse lucky draw set. And so cute. Some of the best photo cards from him, definitely. I think this one's my favourite of all. Okay, next up we've got my Girl Groups binder. This binder, besides the overflow binder, is actually the only binder in my collection that houses more than one collection. So there's 4 different groups in here. So first up, we've got Lily from nmixx. This is one of my most recent collections that I've set up. I've pretty much only got pulls in here. So that first page there, because I bought the album with a set of her photo cards, is kind of the only area I'm doing well on. But yeah, I only set this one up earlier this year and I haven't had much of a chance to work on it yet. Well, a few months ago. I keep forgetting how late we are into the year. But this was the first time I ever pulled Lily from any nmixx albums, was for break, and actually my housemate opened the albums for me, so I didn't even pull her. I have terrible luck with Lily. I have this ot9 set from the limited version, which I kept because how could you not? Look at it. It's gorgeous. And then her Nemo set as well. Just this one Nemo set from Stick Out, and a couple of her Nemo cards from Ford as well. And the Nemo sets here. Anyway, then I've got my Unche collection. This is the oldest collection in this binder. Like the one I started collecting first, because I picked her up like just before Anti-Fragile was coming out. Yeah, so I've got the Fearless cards here, Anti-Fragile, the album cards, the standard versions, and then the Weverse cards and the compact version cards. And then we've got Unforgiven, we've got the standard cards and the compact cards. And the Weverse album cards. This is so cute. One of my favourite cards in my binder for sure. This whole set, like the ot9 set, is gorgeous. I loved this concept. Easy, I've just got a few cards here. These were album pulls. Similar to TXT, this is the era where I stopped collecting. Same with BTS as well, but obviously there's the ongoing Hybe boycott. My Dayeon collection, I collected her since Love and Happiness. I've been collecting her, so I have been standing Limelight since pre-debut, since their release Limelight. Obviously at the moment I'm not monetarily supporting them in any way. I hope Dayeon is doing well, and I hope all the other girls are doing as well too. So I've got my Limelight cards here, and then Limelight and both versions of Love and Happiness had 10 cards each. So I've got the 9 pocket page of just Dayeon, and then I'm collecting an ot9 set for each album. So I've got the Limelight ot9 set done and one of the Love and Happiness versions. And then I'm also just collecting ot9 for the lenticulars and IDs because I pulled all these ones. So I just need to get Sue's lenticulars and then the album photo cards for Dayeon. I have never struggled so much with collecting in my life. These are very difficult to find, and I have not made very good progress. Pretty much the only times I've ever made progress on these cards have been when other people are dropping their Limelight collections. For madein, I collected ot9. This was pretty easy. You only had to buy the albums to do that. And this is the units page. Same again, I collected ot9 for Last Dance, which I have complete. This is the day version. One thing about Limelight and also Madein is they never once did a cohesive set, ever. Like, they could not have cared less about cohesive sets. The outfits are never matching, the photo cards are never matching, but you know, that's how it is, I guess. So I just did my best to make sets out of these ones. And then same for the night version here. One of the photo cards of all time, really, because taking a photo, like a selfie that is you holding a coffee cup with your own photo in it, is perfect. I think more idols should be taking selfies like that. And then we have the units. Collecting all of Dayeon's units, and I just kept this one Sue and Miu that I pulled that was my favourite to make a full 9 pocket. And then we've got the group cards. And then we get into the madein collection. So this is the one that came with the ot7 album version. And then the rest of the photo cards all came in member versions in sets of 7, and I've done my best to make ot7 sets with them. This is one of the only ones that's cohesive. They all took at least one more photo in the school uniform concept, so I managed to make this page. But for the most part, the pages are just what I think looks good. They did all take at least 2 photo cards in this outfit as well. So I've got this first page here, and then this second page, which is all of the more pink cards, and also the end of the cohesive sets, unfortunately. I think Serena took 6 out of 7 of her cards in this outfit. But yeah. I'll just flip through the last few sets there. And this collection obviously won't be growing, but I would love to finish what I have, finish the last few cards I need for it, and just have a complete gown collection. This is my loossemble collection. I collect dayeon and Haeju, but I also collect 1 card of every other member per version, because pretty consistently through all their albums they had 3 photo cards for each concept, and I love the loossemble concepts, I love the music, I love the girls, and I love the photo cards. I couldn't get rid of what I pulled, so I decided instead of getting rid of anything, I would just collect 1 photo card for each of the other 3 members, and then the full set of dayeon and the full set of Haeju. This is another collection like my Lily collection that I set up more recently, and it's only my pulls. The only progress in here is album pulls. Loossemble, the first album. This card is too good. Because there was 4 Ever Music cards, I'm just collecting dayeon and Haeju for those. And then we've got One of a Kind. This is the only era I had any dayeon luck for, but I had good dayeon luck for it. And good Haewon luck as well, because I pulled 2 out of 3 of their units. Unfortunately, I didn't pull the unit that's my favourite, but you can't really complain when you pull 2 out of 3, so. There's the Dawn version. I don't have any of their Ever Music albums yet, so no progress on any of those. And then TTYL. I've finished what I'm collecting for the other members for TTYL. I had a lot more luck pulling them than I did dayeon or Haeju, so there's that. And then the Love version, my favourite version, if you couldn't tell from the cover being the Love version. And then Ever Music again, nothing there. And then back here, behind this J collage, I have like a bias section. This is all pulls from biases and groups that I don't currently collect. So Yeji is my ITZY bias. These are all my Yeji pulls from ITZY albums, and then from her solo albums I got both poker versions and both standard versions. This is so good. This is maybe the best anyone has ever looked ever. This is so gorgeous. Couple more Yejis, and then J from Stacy. Haruna from Billy. I have awful luck pulling her. This is my only card of her. I've got some Isos. I pulled one of these and traded for one because someone wanted some of my Kep1er cards. Got some Wonnies. I'm not sure that Wonnie is actually my bias in Eyelet. I kind of think I'm OT5 biased, and one day I will definitely have an OT5 Eyelet collection. But for now, I just have these cards that my housemate bought me at a secondhand store in Japan. And then I've got some Mei from Reseen. Anyway, a couple more Meis and a Miu from Ifai. I just ran out of fillers there. Don't look at that. And then my Yena pulls are all on this page because I very conveniently have 9 of them. And that is the girl group binder. Okay, next up, my number 1 collection, my favourite of all of my collections. My top 3 twice collection. It's 3 mix actually, you can probably tell from the cover. Nayeon, Jonghyun and Jihyo. Jonghyun is my alt bias along with Namjoon. Twice is my alt group along with BTS. I love this collection. I collected Jonghyun first. I had her finished when I picked up the other 2, which was after with Youth. Got The Story Begins, page 2. Twice Coastal Lane 1. I pulled this Nayeon. I pulled Devil Nayeon. It's like the only really popular card I've ever pulled. And it's a good thing I did, because I can't lie, if I didn't have that, would I really have started my top 3 collection? Who's to say? And then we've got lane 2 and the start of signal. Twice-togram. Merry and Happy, and then we get into What Is Love. For these albums, I know that a lot of people, pretty much everyone that collects their top 3 collects ot9 sets. I do not. At this stage, I don't collect any ot9 sets for Twice. It doesn't really fit in with my future Twice plans to have ot9 sets. So for now, it's just my top 3. And we've got Summer Nights. I love collecting my top 3 because these colours, their member colours, are so gorgeous together. These pages look so good. This card evades me, just this last Summer Nights card, I cannot find it. And then we've got Yes or Yes, where I just haven't got much on at all, unfortunately. And then just the hand cards, and then we go into the Year of Yes. Fancy. This is the page of all time in my binders. This is the most gorgeous page. I love these sets. Cohesive Twice sets in Fancy. Like, oh, I love this page. I love this page so much. The like roses and the letters, and then they're all in matching outfits. These sets are all gorgeous. They're all such pretty photos. I love this page. And just missing this last Fancy card. Then we get into Feel Special. Feel Special is when I got into Twice. Well, actually, I got into Twice during the Fancy era. Feel Special was my first comeback with them. It was my first comeback following a K-pop group ever. I remember watching them release teasers, like the member teasers and stuff, and having zero idea what was going on because I'd never consumed music that releases in the way K-pop does before. But I loved it. It's obviously a fantastic song. Everyone should love Feel Special. And I'm really happy to have been with Twice since this era. Jonghyun's also been my bias since Feel Special era, so that has not changed. And then More and More. And Eyes Wide Open is another album which I'm finished. And obviously I collect the members that most egregiously ruin the sets. So this is supposed to be the non-selfie page for the style, the retro, and I don't know what the third concept's called. I call it the flower cards. So it's supposed to be the non-selfie page. It's not quite. And then it's supposed to be the selfie page, but again, it's not quite. But I mean, the other photo cards are gorgeous. This is one of my favorite Jonghyun photo cards ever. I think it's so pretty. I have considered before, like, just swapping these cards around. I've considered doing this so that I can have at least one cohesive page and just have both of the problem cards on this page. I haven't done it yet, but it looks better, doesn't it? I think I should do it. I'm talking myself into it. And then we've got the music video sets, the table set, and then the other music video sets here. And then we've got Taste of Love, and then we've got the Taste concepts and the In Love concepts. This drink set is one of my favourite sets that they've done ever. I love this concept. Formula of Love. So we've got everything in the study concept on one page and then everything in the break it concept on the second page. And I'm just trying to keep the weight kind of even by swapping where the IDs are. Just slide this over again. We've got one of the explosion sets here. And then the rest of the cards on this page. And then we've got Nayeon's first solo. Twice I do the same as BTS. I've got my top 3 for group albums, and then I collect all of the solos, just all of the album cards for Twice solos. So got Na, which I only finished this year. This card I only got this year. She gave me a lot of trouble. And then between 1 and 2, yeah, I've got Cryptography, Archive, Pathfinder on each page. Pathfinder is kind of my favorite Twice concept ever. It's so gorgeous. I love an outdoor concept. I think people say they're overdone now, but you could never force me to agree with that. They're beautiful to me. I love that all of my top 3 is holding a phone in this set as well. It's so nice. And then Ready to Be. Just got the digipack cards here. Misamo, I didn't collect album cards for because they were super expensive, but I just got a couple of non-album things for them. So I'd like to get their other 2 group cards to put here, plus Momo's matching Polaroid event cards. And then Zone. I'm just missing this one photo card for Zone, and let's talk about how this photo card straight up does not exist. And it could be, listen, is it possibly because I just have total fucking face blindness about what that card looks like? Maybe every time I see a photo card of Jihyo in a black outfit, am I like, oh my god, is that the Zone card I need? Maybe I am, but it's never the Zone card I need, so what's it matter? This card, regardless, does not exist. I can't find her anywhere, and I'm desperate. I want to finish this so badly. Zone is like old. The last collection in here, in this binder, is with Youth. So I've got the ot9 concept cards from the Nemos. I've got the pre-order benefits from the digipacks, and then the other glowing versions and the digipack selfie here. Then we've got the blast version, blast pages. Jihyo's also doing a cat ear for hers, so this is going to look amazing when I finally get my hands on it. And then my favorite concept, obviously, the Forever concept, and a perfect complete 9-pocket page. It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Anyway, that is the first binder. And then, remember her, my beautiful overflow binder? Well, you will see that just after the TXT section in here is the overflow of Twice. So this binder is, this binder, the second Twice binder, is starting with Na. I've got the platform set, and let me talk about my setup for Na because it's my favorite setup in my entire binder. I put a lot of thought into it and I love it very, very dearly. So for the platform set, the 3 non-concept cards are in the middle and they're in 6 patterns with the matching cards, and then the odd one out cards are on the sides. And then she had 3 outfits that had 3 photo cards each, so they're all on this page with the standard album cards down the sides and the A to Z limited cards in the middle. And then the other 4 concepts all had 4 photo cards each. So we've got the album photo cards at the top and at the bottom, and got Nemo photo cards here. And this was my favorite concept. I love this card. I think it's one of my favorites, but my absolute favorite, definitely this one. And then we've got the last 3 photo book cards and the last Nemo card. This one is in progress of how close the biscuit is to her face. I know, very cute, very cute. And then the pre-order card, which works really well with the Nemo card because they're both kind of further away. And then the digipack cards. And that's my perfect setup for now. Unfortunately, the same could not be repeated for Chewy because she didn't have the same amount of album cards, but it can be repeated for Chaeyoung, and I am so excited for my Chaeyoung albums to come. And then we've got, actually I couldn't tell you, everything's mixed up for this. I think these are album cards, but it's going to be a platform card here and a pre-order card here. All of the digipack cards. And then one of these is a platform card and the rest are album cards. One of these is a heaven version card, I think, and the rest are album cards. So it's harder to tell for Chewy. And I had to put slightly more fillers in for this concept, but I still love this. So I've got the 3 blue in the middle and then red up top and bottom. And then on the last page I have all 5 photo cards, including the lenticular, that are in this outfit. I've definitely considered just not collecting, like not keeping the lenticulars in here before. I don't even like lenticulars, but I don't know. It would hurt my completionist self to take them out, even though I don't even like them. So what does that say about me? But then back to top 3, back to group albums, we get strategy. How perfect would this set be if they're all at like this distance? Like if they all look like, yeah, I know. Anyway, step 1, I'm doing pretty well with strategy. I'm very close to finishing at least most of the versions. This is Twice's best Nemo set. I don't know why every Nemo set doesn't look like this. The This Is 4 sets look even less like this, which is very unfortunate because this is cohesive. They're all at the same distance. They're all in front of the same prop. Like, I don't want to complain too much, but I do think every Nemo set they should look like this, and it's upsetting that they don't look like this. Anyway, complete page. Step 2 is all complete, and it's gorgeous. I love this Jihyo look. This is definitely my favorite concept from the strategy albums, except for like the digipack ones. So anyway, perfect, gorgeous, amazing, show-stopping, brilliant. Step 3, yeah, much less progress here, but I have the album cards, the Nemos, and then the strategy, not the strategy, that's the name of the album, the highlight Polaroids in the middle. And then here we've got step 4, strategy ends there. I have this ot9 lucky draw set, I think from Apple Music. And then my setup for This Is 4, because I haven't stored any of my This Is 4 selfie cards yet, but I have already stuck the Polaroid version ot9 sets in. That's that for Twice in here. We will be back in this binder though. You may have seen a sneak peek of why. My last collection is my kep1er collection. Kind of my pride and joy. I collect ot9 for kep1er, and I collect a lot of non-album for dayeon as well. I love kep1er. What more to say? I picked up my top 3, who at the time was dayeon, Mashiro, and Youngun. As Love Struck was coming out, and actually also still in Love Struck era, I changed to collecting ot9. So I've been collecting kep1er and ot9 since Love Struck. I was buying their albums from Troubleshooter era onwards, but I didn't pick up a photocard collection until Love Struck. Anyway, I have First Impact complete. This is actually the only album that I have complete. I couldn't tell you what the versions are called, so I won't, but First Impact. And I got the set of IDs as well. And then Double Blast, I'm still missing a few cards for collecting the clear cards, and then I have the frames just on the back here. I'm missing the Xiaoting clear card and a few of the frames. Actually just the Uniline frames. But then we get into the Lemon Blast photo cards. This Mashiro is why from the start I had picked up top 3, because normally for collections I pick up one member at a time, but these Mashiro cards for Lemon Blast version were so gorgeous I had to have them immediately, so I did. But I'm finished the photo book album versions for Double Blast, but I'm not quite there yet with the jewel case versions. And then the Blue Blast photo book. And the Blue Blast jewel cases, which one of the most gorgeous concepts ever. I know this is most of their music video for up. It's so perfect. These are beautiful cards. I love them. And then next we get into Troubleshooter. This is the Digipack set. And then we get into the rest of the 2K version sets, the rest of the K version things, because they're in the same concept as the Digipacks. This is one of my favorite Dayeon outfits ever. I love this styling. Anyway, my ot9 set. Sorry. Yep. And then, to be so real, the only reason I'm not finished Troubleshooter is because I'm missing 2 of the circle cards. And I don't even like the circle cards, and I definitely don't want to pay money for the circle cards. But I'm also so close to finishing that I just need to get it done now. Like, I have to do it. I have to have this Mashiro. And then the IDs, which are in the midnight concept, so the IDs are there. And then the selfie photo cards. These gorgeous hairs. Pink head hair ate so bad. And then complete ot9 circle cards. And then the daydream concept. Absolutely gorgeous again. Cute. And I am unfortunately missing another circle card. That's the second circle card I'm missing. I just need to get it over with and find it. But you know, until then, it annoys me endlessly. And then we get into Love Struck, which is the last era in this binder. So we've got the eye contact version. For albums like this, so like for a lot of my Twice and for my kep1er where there's not specific sets, I normally do my favorite card on like the last page, or for each. Sorry, I normally for each member put my favorite card of that member on the last page. But sometimes I try and sort them out by like closest card to the camera, closer versus further to the camera, or if they're holding an object or if they're not, things like that. And then for each of the Love Struck versions, they had one set in music video outfits as well. So this is the music video set. Giddy is also my favorite title track from kep1er. I just loved Love Struck era. Everything about it was perfect to me. So this one is the Love Strike version. This was my favorite concept for this album. And then this is the music video set from the Love Strike version. And this is maybe my favorite photo card ever. I just love, I remember getting this photo card in the mail and opening it because I hadn't thought that much of it when it was just on the template, and then I opened my mail with, story time, I opened my mail with this photo card in it, and just like, I pulled it out and I was immediately speechless. This is the most gorgeous photo card ever. This is the perfect photo card. Like the hair with the ears, the pose, it's cute, it's yeso, it's gorgeous. The colors in this photo card are perfect. Everyone should see this. Everyone should see this photo card in their lifetimes. Everyone should get to hold this photo card in their lifetimes because this is what it is all for. This is the best photo card of all time. I'll get it right close up for you. Just kind of the perfect photo card. I really could rave about this all day. I love that photo card. Oh my god. Anyway, moving on totally casually. We've got the First Blush version, which is a gorgeous version. So pretty. Love this dayeon. And then I've got the concept set for the platform version, but we actually go into the digipack versions first because all the digipack and the concept cards are in the same outfits. So done with the digipacks. And then the platform albums, struggling so hard. This is my flop era of collecting. These platform photo cards are so hard to find. So hard to find. I just want this done. I want this done so badly. This, with the exception of like Bubblegum, the new album, is the only dayeon card that I am missing for album cards, and it kills me. Kills me every day. I need it. And then I've got a couple of pre-order sets here. This one is the Comeback Live show, and this one is a Make Star set. We're going to move right on to the second Kep1er binder. So this is ot9 binder number 2. It only fits Magic Hour and Kep1er going on because they had so many photo cards for both those eras. And then we get into Magic Hour. For Magic Hour, it's kind of split up weirdly because some of the pre-order sets and some of the platform sets were in the same concepts, so they're not all organized by album version. This is a pre-order set, and then this is a platform set, and again this is a pre-order set and a platform set, and then this is a mix of the pre-order sets from the unit albums, and this is one of the platform sets. So I just did matching outfits for this, and then the platform sets had some matching outfits with some of the midnighted version. They're not all entirely matching, but a few of the girls are matching, so I put those sets together anyway. So this is the platform Polaroid set, and the concept set, and then this one is the pre-order set from the midnighted version, not midnighted, moonlighted version, and the random selfie card from the platform version. And then we get into the standard album versions. I've got the beloved version, an ot9 set done, gorgeous, beautiful, and the sun-kissed version. If you hadn't guessed, my favorite version of this album. These gorgeous cards, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cards. I love the color in this hickory card. And then the moonlighted version, also, honestly, also really in the running for my, all of the versions for this album were really good, but I love this one as well, and I love this dayeon look. Only 1 or 2 of the pre-order cards were in this look, which is a tragedy. These are cards I fear I'll never see. Xiaoting is holding a sparkler in this one, and here is holding like a star cookie cutter in this one, and I don't think I've ever seen either of them on, well, I've never seen either of them on sale on like Instagram or anything. I've never seen either of them for less than like $20 on Mercari Japan, which is the other place I source most of my photo cards. So I don't know, will I ever get my hands on them? Who's to say? But we can hope. And then the unit albums, we've got the Tropical Light unit and the tape unit. Love these cards. Cute, gorgeous. And then we get into Kep1er going on. I've got, I think this is the scene version, that's what I'm going to go with. The lenticulars, which we already know that I hate lenticulars, but Kep1er lenticulars piss me off, especially because I don't know how well you can see it, but for all of them, at least one, sometimes both of the angles, but at least one of the pictures on the lenticular is always a selfie. That could have just been another photo card. I wish that was just another photo card, because I don't want lenticulars, but I want selfie photo cards. But anyway, I'm finished with the standard album versions for this, and that's about it. But yeah, got the scene cards. Beautiful. So gorgeous. And then the platform versions, these are the folding cards that came in the platform card with the platform versions. Some of the selfie cards. This is one of the craziest photo cards ever. This is so gorgeous. I just make sure everyone can see that well. Look how pretty it is. Like the pose, Chaehyun's gorgeous. Obviously the flowers hanging over. I could go on and on. It's so beautiful. And then the last platform set, they're all wearing this white dress. And then the Polaroids, These platform albums suck to collect because they came with 1 Polaroid and 2 selfie cards per album, so the Polaroids are not easy to find. I'm doing decently with the scene version though. And then the new version, again with the lenticulars. I don't know how well you can see them, but I also don't know what I could do for you to see them well on video, so we'll just skip straight over that. And then I have a bit less for the PLV for this version. And this youngin's so cutie. Oh, all of these are pretty. Look at that Eugen. Imagine looking like that. And then we get into the Voyage or limited version photo cards. These are the struggle of my life. These are so difficult to find. I've never seen, like, except for the cards that I already have, the cheapest I ever see these cards are $20 for 1 card. And I do not want to pay that much for them. One day I might get to that point. But today I am not at that point. And I want these photo cards. I want to be done ot9 Kep1er so badly. But these photo cards, this is my real and true flop era of collecting. I can't do these. I can't find them. I cannot find them anywhere. It's killing me. Look how gorgeous that hikaru is. At least I have something to distract me from how empty these pages are, because I look at this card and it's beautiful. Oh, I look at this yeso and it's beautiful. I want ot9 Kep1er back so bad. So bad. And then I have the greatest page that anyone has ever had in a photocard binder ever, the set of all time, my favorite girls, with props, with costumes for my favorite animal, Kep1er's Red Panda set. It's the Kep1 going on K-Town for You drink lucky draw. And I thought when I saw these when I saw these on a template, I was like, well, I'm never getting those. You had to buy a drink at the K-Town for You lucky draw to get them. But I persevered. I got them all. I got every single one of them. These are the best cards ever. This is my #1 page in any of my binders. These are my 1 to 9 top favorite photo cards. These are perfect. These are gorgeous. I should double, triple, quadruple collect all of these. I should have a 9 pocket page for all of these photo cards because nothing better has ever existed. Kep1er ot9 Red Panda cards. Just like, they had me specifically in mind. This is the page of all time. So I'll let you all look at it for a moment longer. I will. I'll be generous. These are beautiful. Okay, thank you for looking. Thank you for looking. Aren't you all glad you saw those? I think you should be. Remember her? Do you remember my overflow binder? Because we're back again. And you'll never believe it, but what this binder is actually supposed to be, past the TXT, and past the twice, what this binder is for, and what I bought it for, is none other than my post-ot9 Kep1er collection. So we've got 7-member Kep1er from Tippy Tap, and once I have some albums, some pulls, we'll have 6-member Kep1er from Bubblegum, and eventually they will be the only ones in this binder, because this is supposed to be a Kep1er binder. But for now we have to flip to the back to look at my ot7 Kep1er collection. So, Tippy Tap, again with the lenties, again with the lenticulars that have 2 selfies on them. And remember, 2 selfies. These could have been 2 more photo cards. This is the Lost version, I think. Gorgeous, so show-stopping, beautiful. Look at them. Cute. I'm finished for the standard albums for this version, for this album. We've got my favorite version. This is not my favorite version. I don't know why I said that. I'm so sorry. But we've got the Lost and Seek version. Cute. Perfect. And my favorite version, the Connect-N version, which, how good would these have been as selfie photo cards? She's doing cat ears. I love cat ears. I mourn the loss of these lenticulars being 2 extra selfie photo cards every day. But I do have this gorgeous photo card set all complete. Very pretty. And then the platform versions, I cut up one of the lyric books because we never got any full body, like we never got any concept pictures for this version. There's no hard copy of this version, so we never got to see the full outfits on anything except for this lyric book. So I cut it up and I put it in as an ot7 set. And then we've got the art cards with 2 of the ot7 cards. And this page is going to be the scratch cards with the 2 unit cards. And then I've got these selfie photo cards. And an ot7 make star set. And then this binder just ends up with the bubblegum setup. I have one last binder that I will show you today, which is my dayeon non-album binder. So at the front here, I've got, what are they called? Broadcast cards from Magic Hour here. I got mushrooms for this as well because I loved this little edited in bow concept. And then from Magic Hour, not Magic Hour, I already said from Magic Hour, from kep1er going on to here, and then from Tippy Tap, and this one is a Make Style Winners card. And then that one's a broadcast, this one is another winners card, and this one is like a fan meet one maybe. I can't, this was like a New Year countdown fan meet something or other, I can't remember, but it's cutie. And then we have First Impact, which I've completed her non-album collection for. I could not tell you what most of these stores are, but if you're really interested and you're still watching at this point in the video, I will definitely try and find it for you if you leave a timestamp. And then this one is the last First Impact card, and we get into Dub Last. I do have fillers for all pre-order benefits and lucky draws, but I wouldn't say I'm not super strict with myself about getting them all. The fillers are more so I know what the layout would look like than the fact that I feel like I need to have a complete collection for her. And then this one, I just need this MTU selfie, and then I have all 7 cards from my favorite outfit ever. I want this so bad. I want to have this done. We're on Troubleshooter now, by the way. This is another one of my favorite outfits. And then we get into Love Struck down here, which I'm pretty close to finishing Love Struck. I have good progress for it. And Magic Hour starts here. Magic Hour is another album which I have actually finished. I was in a fixed spot for Magic Hour, and I also picked up the Japanese pre-order benefits, so love these ones with the pajamas. They're really cute. And this one is also one of my favorites with the pandas. And then kep1er going, so this is all Magic Hour too. kep1er going on is here, and these are the only blank spots because these are the Japanese cards for kep1er going on, but for all of the Korean cards I collected a bit differently because I did think it was going to be their last era. It wasn't announced until after pre-orders and things had already started for the album that 7 of the members would be continuing going forward, but I fully collected for Korean pre-order benefits and lucky draws dayeon as always, and also Mashiro because she was my bias wrecker, and I'm really glad I did, because obviously she did leave the group in the end. But these are set up as matching photo cards, so like these are the same store, so on the whole way through. And then we've got the second page of all my kep1er going on cards. And page 3. And then we get into Tippy Tap, which had just such a ridiculous abundance of cards. I'm nowhere near finished it. I haven't even finished setting up fillers for it, to be honest with you. I gave up partway through, so I'll just show you what I have for it. Although it was an era which I didn't really enjoy collecting that much, it does have some of my favourite photo cards. I love this Chip and Dale one. It's gorgeous. The takoyaki one, so pretty. These ones, I loved this outfit. As I said, this was my favourite concept, so I love these photo cards. And the ones with the drawings, I think we should get more photo cards with drawings on them. I think everyone should be doing that. It continues, it goes on. See how this is already like 4 times the size of every other era in here? These ones are not pre-orders or lucky draws. These ones are the jewel case cards, which were initially US exclusive, so I was only going to collect dayeons for. I might go back and collect the other members eventually, but for now I'm pretty happy just to have these 2. And then I just have some Japanese trading cards here. From Fly Up, and then Fly By and Fly High. And then just some non-album miscellaneous cards. Star Magazine, SN2D, we've got some fan meeting stuff, some season's greetings cards, some anniversary cards, some more anniversary cards and some concert cards. And that's the last page in here, and that is the end of my collection tour for today. That's the last of my binders that house proper collections. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you've made it this far in. I know this video was probably quite long, and I feel a bit bad being like, here's my first video, it's 300 hours long, sit and watch it. Like, that feels very entitled. But if you have watched this much, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll tune in for more. I have a lot planned between storing photo cards and some comebacks and setting up for like 9 new collections. You know, there's a lot to look forward to, so please do look forward to it. Bye!